In this week's Boss Lady, we check in with Shayna Alnwick. She's got a $100 hack for an $8,000 accent table.
Here's how I took 2 concrete tubes, a pine board, some pipe insulation, and I made it into a console table worth $8,000. I had to go get the supplies, so I went to Home Depot and I got some 2-part epoxy Gorilla Glue, a concrete tube, which were 8 inches wide, 2 of those, a pine board, and I loaded it into the truck and brought it home. The first thing I did was I took a mat and I curved off and drew off my edges on the pine board. And then I got my jigsaw and I just cut those up nice and easily with a nice fresh blade because this is the best way to get the perfect round cuts. And I did the same to the other side with my offcut, so it was perfect on both sides. When that was done, I took a 220 grit sandpaper and I sanded it down till it was buttery smooth. Then I moved on to the pipes. I actually measured them at 34 inches. I marked them off and then I used a 10-inch saw to cut them in half. Then after that was finished, I got a whole bunch of pipe insulation. These were $1 each and they already come pre-cut on one side. So then I took my scissors and some adhesive and I cut them in half. And I used this spray adhesive on this cardboard tube and I let it get tacky and I laid them all across. This actually gripped them super, super well and these are not coming off at all. I love this adhesive and this is the way to get those curved edges for my inspiration picture. When I was all done, they looked a little bit weird, but then I cut off all the excess to make it nice and flush and smooth. I then got out some Slick Stick primer as this is the best adhesion primer for materials like this. I painted them and then when it was dry, I moved on to actually assembling this unit together. The next step was to get the Gorilla Glue epoxy, and this comes in 2 parts that you squeeze out and you mix together, and I spread it all around the areas where I want to attach these legs to. This stuff dries really quick, but when it does dry, it is so sturdy and secure. Next, I got out the color Saltwater from Dixie Belle's Silk range. This has the built-in primer and a built-in top coat, so this is a great, great base color, and I painted the entire thing. Then moved on to my favorite part, which is creating the fake marble technique. As you can see here, these are some beautiful neutral colors, and I went ahead and freehanded the most cool and beautiful, almost fake marble effect that I could think of. This was tedious work, but I tried my best to use my imagination and just let my spirits flow with my creativity. I did the exact same technique to the top of the piece, and then I also chose Dixie Belle's new color. This is called Cobblestone. It's a beautiful neutral, and I use that to fill in some areas to make this marble not look so flat and give it some dimension. And to make sure it doesn't look too flat, you always dab it out with the cloth afterwards. To give it that high definition look, I sealed it all with a gloss top coat to give it that nice little marble shine. And when I was done, this is the final look. This piece was so fun to make. There's the inspiration. Here's the final look. What do you guys think?